Welcome back and thank you for staying with us on Daybreak. Let's quickly look through the front pages of the national dailies. The major story on the Daily Trust newspaper here is about minimum wage, labor strike, grounds activities nationwide. This is the major story, and of course you can find many more stories on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Moving on from the Daily Trust newspaper, let's take a look at the Punch this morning. The front page of the Punch is talking about minimum wage as well. Major story saying federal government offers over 60,000 naira. Labor may end the strike. I mean, this is just a prediction. The negotiation panel to meet daily. NLC and TUC ground schools, banks, power grid. I mean, I would have to add to even the airports also have been shut down. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what the labor union's decision would be. The top of the page there, I am working to improve quality of life. That's according to President Tinubu. Heritage Bank and NDIC begins refund. Highest depositors get 5 million naira. The CBN and NDIC ask creditors to file claims and reps urge transparency. Below the major story there, at the bottom of the page, we see foreign reserves fall by $1.8 billion in 10 weeks. Water from Benin border agency rescues Ogun communities after Punch report. Nigeria and UAE face-off settled visa issuance begins soon. That's according to the federal government. All right, and of course, due to time, let's just head on to the review. We have with us, as usual, Dr. Theophilus Abba, the Program Director of Daily Trust Foundation. Good morning, Doctor. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
I just have to, I can't even wait to pick your brain on the minimum wage and the situation happening between the Labour and the federal government at the moment. What is your take in all of this?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that Labour has to embark on this strike because of minimum wage, because there's been enough room for negotiation and for an agreement. I was thinking that because the president had talked about what to call living wage, you know, since, I mean, even before he became president, he was talking about ensuring that Nigerians were paid what to call living wage. Then while this negotiation was going on, people were expecting that there was something substantial would be given as the whatever we call minimum wage. But then 60,000 naira is less than $50 in a month.
It's $20.
You see, now if you look at, I was looking at some data yesterday, and I discovered that in 1974, the minimum wage in Nigeria was $224.
Interesting.
That was 1974, $224. Now, today, you are telling us that the minimum wage cannot be up to maybe 30, I mean, up to, let's say, maybe the $50 I'm talking about, cannot be up to $50. You can imagine the standard of living, you know. You now discover that those who worked in 1974 lived a better life than those of us who are working in 2024. So, which is an issue. And if you compare it sincerely, the minimum wage in Seychelles, in small Ireland, is $426. That's the minimum wage in Seychelles. Even the minimum wage in Libya is about 420 something dollars as well.
Even with the whole insecurity happening in Libya.
Yes, with whatever is happening. Even in Gabon, minimum wage in Gabon is over $200, about $262. Minimum, even Equatorial Guinea, the minimum wage is about $200. Now, the problem we have is that, and this is what, you know, some persons have argued over and over again. You see, a lot of revenue in this country is not brought into the purse. A whole lot. You see, if you look at all the revenue generating agencies, there's so much leakage, you know, to the point that, you see, the money available to meet some of these expenses by government is stolen. If you go to a typical local government, you know, like I think I've said it before, the 15 naira, 100 they collect from market women, from Okada riders, from taxi riders, from truck pushers. By the time you aggregate the whole of this money, it's enough to do a whole lot of things, but nobody gives account. in many states, the revenue generated, what enters into the purse, I don't think is up to 50% of what's generated. And this is based on discussions with even finance commissioners. And at the national level, it happens. So if there's so much leakage, if people who are revenue generators, are stealing a huge chunk of this money, then there will not be enough resources, to meet what we call the minimum, the kind of thing that is paid in other countries. You wonder, why are Nigerians going to Libya? Why should Nigerians want to go to even neighboring countries to become lecturers, to become workers? Because the value of the currencies in those countries, is higher, better than that of Nigeria. You can't expect somebody to live on, $30, $50 in the month. Now, since Tinubu came in, the devaluation of the naira, I have argued. People say, oh, it's economic realities, it is finding this level. I don't think that is how you fix the value of a currency, because we know if you look at the global situation, U.S. is the world's biggest economy, followed by China. Then you have a country like Japan. You have a country like Germany. I think for you to mention UK will be maybe number 6 or 7 when we talk about the big economies in the world. But why is the pound stronger than every other currency? Because up to today, the pound is stronger than every other currency. We may say because of the banking system, but if you talk of productivity, China produces more than the UK. US produces more. Japan produces heavy equipment, but this currency is not as strong. So I know I'm not an economist, but this argument has come forward that the value of the currency is determined by the political will of the government. Now, if the government had devalued the currency to such an extent that $1, which was officially 400 and maybe 500 in May 2023, becomes 1,300, 400. That is almost, devaluation is about 200 or 300%. You understand? So if that is happening, you can understand the quality of life, and you can now know why labor is talking about 494,000. Some people are saying it's too high. But how much 494,000 in dollar terms? It's about, maybe if it's about $300.
Yeah,
if it's up to.
I don't think it's even up to.
You understand? Now, do you know what others earn in other parts of the world as minimum wage? Some people are paid what we call living wage, $15 per hour minimum, $20 per hour minimum. By the time you work for, let's say, 6 hours, if you're earning, let's say, 15, you work for 6 hours in a day, you are getting almost in the environment of maybe $80. Now, that $80 that you earn is more than what somebody earns at minimum wage for a month in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You see, that condition, is very clear that it impoverishes the people. It makes it difficult for people to meet their needs. And that's why the whole thing is not really about the strike. It's about the quality of life that we are living in Nigeria today.
Speaking about quality of life, the president himself is saying, I'm working to improve the quality of life of the citizens. Do you feel that at this point?
Well, we can't feel it now, because although it's not only money that determines the quality of life, there are other things that need to be done. First of all, the transportation system, the health system, the education system. You understand? Even the social system. What are the social safety nets available in Nigeria? There's virtually none. Now, if you look at, people are actually on their own. That is the unfortunate thing. People are on their own. You see, because if you want to transport from here to another location, you cannot get a cheap means of transportation. The cheapest means of transportation that we see in other parts of the world is either train, tram, or buses. Now, we don't have all this. We don't have buses that will mop up people from the bus stop and say, all of you pay 100 naira or 50 naira.
We used to have a doctor. What happened?
Things have gone so bad that you cannot say, okay, I don't have enough money, but in some places you buy a train ticket, maybe let's say 2,000 naira, let me put it that way. It will take you travel to every part of the country, or maybe every part of the state for 1 month. You have 2,000 naira ticket. It is meant for people who don't have the money. You see, even the capitalist societies, they take care of those who are poor Because like the Bible says, the poor you have with you always. So there will always be poor people. The capitalists will say, look, these guys are poor. They can't buy private jets. They can't buy private cars. But let's not make life difficult for them. Let's make this thing available so that they can move. So you have your ticket that can take you for 1 month. You trek a lot anyway. You trek from your house to the train station. But you got your ticket that will take you, for a long distance. It brings you, gives you assurance. It makes you a peace of mind.
There's just seemed to be a gap between the government and the people right now, and people have been holding on to the president promise, saying he wants to let the poor to breathe, but honestly Nigerians are not feeling that, honestly, and I wish we had time, doctor, to dissect this situation. But of course we'll definitely invite you more to come and talk about all of this. Thank you so much, Dr. Theophilus Abba, for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Of course. And with that, of course, we wrap up the 2 hours show as we promised, and I hope that the government, or the federal government, the president at this point, would prove to Nigerians that he truly has Nigerians at heart. Now, with that, of course, we've come to the end of the show this morning on Daybreak on our station here in the nation's capital. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Please do stick around. At the top of the hour, Adeni Ajishafe would bring you 360 Sport. Do have a lovely Tuesday.